Hi everybody, it's Danny from Leonard Woodcraft. Today I'm going to show you how I've built my router sled and how you can build your own. Basically, I did a pretty simple router sled, as you can probably search it on YouTube. There's countless video on tutorial how to do it yourself. Today I'm going to show you how I did mine, how you can do yours, and the base principle of it, how it's working, so you understand how to build it from your own materials with what you got. So that's the goal of the video. It's not necessarily to do exactly like I did, but to show you how it's working. So what we're looking at here is the two rails that we need for our router sled. How I assembled them, it's simple. It's just 2 pieces of plywood cut in the table saw at 1 1/4 inch with some glue in between and screwed all the way. And I've did a corner of melamine on top. I chose melamine because the sled is sliding well on that surface, on that material, but it can be plywood, it can be even metal, whatever you got. What I did next is drill some holes in my table. As you can see, I got one there, and one over there. And through my assembly there, I've drilled the hole with some carriage bolt. I've drilled some holes in my rails and in my table. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna remove the screws and put them in the table. And I'm gonna screw these wing nuts under the table to fix the rails. Really, you can do it with other screws or whatever, but with that, what I like is there's an adjustment, because the important part here is to have that rail straight, a perfect line, and the other one too. So if my table comes to be not even with time, I can always shim under my rails with that technique and be sure to have a straight line every single time. Doing the same thing on the other side. Like I said, whatever method you choose to use, it needs to be a straight line. So whatever you got, if you have a metal bar or something straight that you can use, just to make sure that it's perfectly straight. It is perfectly straight. On the other side, it is perfectly straight too. So now that our rails are installed, I'm gonna show you how I've built my my actual sled on top. I'm gonna show you on that side. It's gonna be easier. So what it is, it's 2 corner piece of aluminum. I saw some video on YouTube with steel instead of aluminum, but at my hardware store and all the other ones around, I shopped them, and they were all a little curvy, little things in it. I didn't like it, so that really did it. It was aluminum, so it's pretty straightforward. 2 corners and 2 pieces at each end. That's it, secured with some screws. A locking washer and a washer, and I just put some furniture handle just to carry them around and move them. I thought it was cool. And as you can see, there's some painter's tape inside, but it's all ripped away. I've flattened 5 boards with it, 5 cutting boards, and it's already like that, so I'll probably remove that, try some wax. just to have something that slides well on it. It slides well, but it's not permanent, so I'm gonna try something else. So the principle here is pretty simple. We have one straight line on one side, one straight line on the other, and we have our sled on top of this. So when it slides, it's supposed to have the same distance between your table and the actual sled everywhere. But where I said that you can do this on almost anything is even if this is not even, we can fix that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a melamine sheet. You can use whatever you have. It needs to be flat, something straight and rigid. So a melamine panel is pretty good for this. And since I did my sled at around 1 15/16, about 2 inches, let's say that. I did my sled about 2 inches. If I had to flatten a board like really deep, my bit doesn't go that deep on my router, so it's acting as a shim too. So you're shimming under your piece that you want to flatten, and it can help you straighten under. What I mean by that is before flattening anything, what I want to do is take a measurement. The best thing is to take one measurement, like 1 1/4. I see 1 1/4 here, and just cut a piece of wood like a template, so you can put it everywhere. You're sliding and you put it under everywhere here. For example, let's say that this is 1 1/4. You just slide your sled everywhere and look if this is the same distance all around where you're going to flatten. If it's not, you just have to shim under your board here that you've put there with some hot glue, and then placing your flat surface under. You're going to have equal point of reference everywhere under your sled. But my table is straight, so that's a good thing for me. I'm just clamping my melamine board that I use under to shim on the table. And whatever dimension you need your sled to be, it can be 24 inches, 3 feet, 4 feet, whatever. It needs to be straight. One line there, one line there, parallel, each line parallel. And your sled, the actual sled, needs to be really straight. No curves in it, so it can flatten everything. So I did mine quite actually big. When I used it, I realized how long it is. So if I have to flatten something that big, I'll probably not use that sled. It's going to take forever. I'm going to use a big planner somewhere in a shop. But anyway, what I'm trying to tell you is you can build this on the actual size that you want. Here's my sled in action. I hope that video helped you in any way, shape or form to build your own thing, your own router sled. And please subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to me. And comment under the video if you like that type of content, if you want to see more of it. Thank you for watching and see you on the next one.